Hey, what's up? Usually these guys do this show, but I'm here today, so it's my show.
Yeah, just take over,
Yeah,
Cedric.
Cedric McMillan here at we're going to call it the Cedric McMillan Australian Muscle Show. There's a bunch of fit ladies that just got done with some weightlifting yoga type stuff outside, so they're going to be in and out. So if you see them laughing, making a bunch of noise and stuff, just ignore them. Focus on us, all right?
Well, as you can see, we're here with IFBB Pro Cedric McMillan, who's really shy.
Yeah.
So this is a great surprise because Cedric surprised us all here at the gym.
Yeah.
So what brings you to Adelaide?
Okay, well, basically, as you remember, 3 months ago, I came through a few different cities in Australia.
Yeah, you came and cooked us some pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The protein pancakes from
That's
Sati.
right.
Well, anyway, we visited a lot of stores and gyms. Your store, and when I came back for the Arnold Classic, which was in Melbourne, I thought, once I planned and knew for sure that I was going to be here, I wanted to come back to some of the places that were the most memorable for me, some of the people that I met, that were the most welcoming, and just wanted to come back and show my gratitude and appreciation for the warm welcome. Not coming back to try to do an appearance and sell a bunch of stuff, anything like that, but just to drop in and let you guys know I remember you and I appreciated everything that you guys did for me when I was here before. And that's probably going to be something I do anytime I ever come to Australia, because it's so far away and it's not often I would be here.
Yeah.
So whenever I am, in the country, just try to stay here, an extra few days or a week or whatever, so I can make it by to some of the guys and say hello and drop in, So
No, that's cool. And your visit was one of the really good visits we've had from pros. You really interacted with everyone, so
Yeah.
thank you for that. It was really good. So you're all now recovered from the two Arnold Classics?
It depends on what you call recovered. If you're asking me if I'm full of donuts and ice cream, then the answer is yes.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was asking. So yeah, you're not going on to any of the others.
Yeah. I'm gonna just now focus on preparation for the Olympia. Do the same thing that I did last year, which was try to keep my body relatively lean, because I believe that when it's so different from the norm and what everybody's used to now. But I believe when you keep your body relatively lean, that you're actually able to grow better.
Yeah. We agree. Sam's getting ready for a competition now, and he stayed relatively lean all year.
Yeah.
And we encourage all the competitors now not to blow out, to stay lean.
Yeah.
And even I found that even at my age, I've been able to build more muscle by staying leaner rather than heavier.
Well, the thing is, it's what you're taking into your body. I mean, you got to think about, now I do know some people that are able to eat an abundance of calories and it be clean food. They just eat a ton of it, But I also know what I feel to be sometimes a lot of, I'll call it digestive distress. Listen, when you feel bloated, something, something's not running smoothly. Like, okay, so you got a whole bunch of food in there.
That's right.
And I went down the same path. I thought you have to force feed that food in there. You got to force yourself to grow. But I found that when you actually work with your body, give your body what it needs, give your body what it's asking for, and everything runs more smoothly. And what I mean by asking for means if you're hungry, then it's time to eat. If you feel yourself getting hungry. If you still feel full from 2 hours ago, guess what you probably don't need right now? Another freaking meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is talking about the abundance of calories and sometimes maybe overeating, trying to grow muscle. And that digestive distress can kind of make the digestive system say, whoa. This is too much of everything here. And you know what my theory is? When you pack yourself full of food that much, that frequently, I believe that digestive system will say, you know what? I don't need all of this. Let's just pass it right on through.
Yeah.
So imagine, usually food sits then the digestive system moves through slowly, and as it moves through towards the end, nutrients are absorbed from it. Well, I believe if you pack so much shit in there, figuratively speaking, right? You pack so much in there, your body says, I can't do anything with this.
Yeah.
And it just passes it on through.
Yep.
You know, if your body is, taking in the amount of protein that it needs or whatever, it doesn't really need anymore. It's just gonna. I think in a lot of cases, some of it just moves right on through, and it's not undigested but unabsorbed is what I'll say.
Yep.
Now, moving from that into people that who like to fill up on pizza and all of the good food. I believe that when you have a very high intake and it's a lot of fatty foods, I think your body doesn't grow very well on junk food. You know what I'm saying? I think in comparison, your body would be able to grow muscle better off of clean food than it would say, so what y'all call it, macros.
Yeah.
And HJs and all that stuff, But we like to eat that because we like to have our time off, so we fill up with that. But what I say is, okay, stay lean and eat clean food to grow muscle. But it is off season, so if you want to go out with the kids or go out with your, with the family and have something to eat, you have the freedom to do that as well, So, but you don't want to overdo anything. You don't want to overdo the clean food. You don't want to overdo the bad food. You just need to find a happy medium.
Yeah, I tend to have a thing I tell people: if you're going to eat 100 meals a week, just for instance, to give a percentage, try to eat 80 of them clean and 20 of them a little bit relaxed, to give yourself that little bit of a relaxed lifestyle. That leads me on to my next question, which I wanted to ask you, and you most probably answered these. Like you made a dramatic improvement in these last two shows. Or the last three. You even competed in Italy, didn't you?
Poland.
Poland, that's right. So, as soon as you came out, everyone was going, wow, Cedric, look at Cedric. Is the reason for your improvement because you stayed lean, like you said, and didn't blow out, that you were able to build more muscle and come in better condition? Not saying that you were ever in really bad condition, but your improvements were really marked.
There's your point right there. A lot of times, what we see is what I call, and I'm making up terms here, but it's perspective based. And what I mean by that is this: if Cedric comes out to a show, no matter how he looks, and he gets 5th place, and he says, oh, Cedric got 5th, oh, he must have been a little off, right? So then when you see me knowing that, then no matter what you see, you try to justify the fact that you know it's 5th place, right? And so I believe that's what happens a lot. Sometimes our perspective is a little bit skewed because we try to justify, something that is a fact, which is a fact that you placed here. So something must not be right. Regardless of how the pictures look, when I look at you, something must have been off. So you probably wasn't quite as hard as you need to be. You get it? Because I look at your body parts are there. You must have been a little off, right? Because I think back and I look back to the Honor Classic in Ohio last year, and to me, I looked just as good as this year. Maybe I was a little sharp, a little better this year, but to me it looked, close to the same. But the placing was different, and that makes people have a different perspective. You get what I mean? And we can even go further and say when I competed against Branch Warren in this Sacramento Pro show, and he beat me there. You could look at that show, and I could look at that show and compare that to how I looked in Ohio and say, fuck, I look really good. But because I was beat by Branch Warren, you would say, oh, he must have been a little off, right? So what I think the major part of it was people's perspective changed because the placing did, But I will say that my progress every year has been progressively better. In the last 3 years, if you compare 2013 to 2014, I was a little better. 14 to 15, I was a little better. 15 to 16 here, I was a little better. So the progress is steady, and so that's a part of it as well. I believe for me and my body, which we can compare that to many people. Some people come out, and they start competing, and come to find out they have undersized legs, or they have undersized chest. And what I mean by undersized is that particular body part is not, it doesn't have the balance that it needs to have in respect or in relation to the rest of your body.
Yeah.
When I look at your body, your chest is too small for your body. Your legs are too small for your body, right? So we have people with, body part issues that they need to bring up. We have people with maybe they have no back or whatever the body part may be.
No calves.
Right. Or me, I have no calves, right? I have high calves. And even though now they've grown, my calves are 19 and a half, 20 inches,
Damn.
but they're real high. So it still looks shit, but so you have that. You have some people that have overall growth issues, like they just can't get the size that they want, right? Well, for me, I think that sometimes conditioning can be one of those things that takes time to develop as well, because when you look at conditioning, the body fat percentages play a major part, of course, but I also think skin texture plays a major part. And people think, okay, well, when you have grainy skin and you're very vascular, then your body fat is low. But guess what? Some people have grainy vascular skin even when their body fat is up.
That's right.
Because that's just the way their skin texture is. People say, well, when you have cross striations, that's when you're very lean. Well, some people genetically have major cross striations in every body part, and some people have no cross striations in their body parts because of the way the muscle developed. Maybe they need more muscle maturity or whatever, but so the point that I'm trying to make is grainy, veiny skin, it can be a sign of conditioning, but it also could be a genetic thing. Cross striations could be a sign of conditioning, but it also can be a genetic thing. And then likewise, being able to get very low body fat, that can be, some people say, oh, you didn't work hard enough, you didn't diet hard enough, but also that could be a muscle development thing. It could be something that has to be progressively developed over time. So your body just won't let you get this lean yet, you know what I'm saying? But the more you do it and the more you try, then your body says, okay, I'll give up a little more body fat. I'll give up a little more body fat. And I believe that's happened to me because there's been times where in my diet, all of my progress just came to a halt. And when I dieted harder, took away more carbs, and all these little tricks that we try, increased the cardio 3 hours a day, all this stuff, it only made me smaller. But the body fat didn't change at all, so that let me know, okay, my body says, that's it, that's all I'm gonna give you. But every year, when I continue to go on, then it seems like it gets better. And I will say that I believe it gets even better when you stay lean. Because if you think about it, if in a year's time you do one show, and so you prep for this show, and really you're only lean for 4 weeks out of the whole year, how many cross striations can you develop?
That's right.
How thin can you actually get your skin? And how much vascularity can you develop when hell you're only lean for 4 weeks out of a whole year, right? But if you're lean all year, and then you're super lean for 4 weeks out of the year, then that's when you're going to see more of the attributes of good conditioning develop. That's what I believe. So that's what I'm doing now.
I hear you, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what would you give someone a tip for? We've got a competition coming up in just under 5 weeks' time.
Okay.
What would you tell them for after the show?
Okay.
Like have a good reward kind of meal, but don't do anything.
Well, listen. I'm telling you, and everything fitness based has to be applied to an individual differently, based on where their weaknesses are and what their strengths are. You know what I'm saying? It has to be based on the individual. Guess what? Some people have absolutely no problem dropping body fat. And if you have no problem dropping body fat and it feels great for you to be 150 kilos, right? Then get 150 kilos if you have no problem dropping body fat. Who cares, right? But if you have an issue dropping body fat, then you probably don't need to put on a lot.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, for you to do something and then you're gonna have to turn around and do the opposite, and that's your nemesis. Why put it on? Why put so much of it on when you know it's gonna kick your ass to try to get it off, right? Yeah. So.
I've never been 150 kilos.
Yeah, well, I was trying to do the simple math and divide by 2, 300 pounds.
Have you ever been 150 kilos?
I've been 140. Yeah, I've been 320.
How'd you feel?
I felt like I felt big as hell.
Did you feel like your
felt
calves were growing? It's a lot of weight. Coming down and down.
My calves are the only thing that didn't look big.
Damn.
And I was out of breath.
Shoelaces?
I could time, but I would have to time alone because I hold my breath and shit, you know. But really, when I was that big, it felt great to be standing at the booth like this, you know. But listen, so and we'll speak in terms of pounds and kilos, 40 pounds, 20 kilos. So I gained 40 pounds, and then when I lose it, I've still only gained my yearly 4 pounds of muscle, right?
That's still pretty good.
So yeah, and every year I put on 2 to 4 pounds of muscle that shows up on stage, okay? So hold on a second here.
But not in the calves.
What? Not in the calves. Not in the damn calves. I think I get ounces in calves. So you mean to tell me I do all of this eating, all of this food that hey, let's not mention I have to buy this stuff, right?
That's right.
I have to spend money on this
Cook
food.
it,
Yeah,
clean it.
Yeah, all these supplements and stuff. You have to spend money on to try to gain all this weight that you have to lose, and all you have to show for it is 2 kilos or 4 pounds. So why not stop that and just add the 4 kilos or 2 kilos, 4 pounds? And I believe that I just believe that you don't have to put on 40 pounds to gain 4. You don't have to put on 20 kilos to gain 2. I believe you can just gain 2 kilos, right?
The message coming through here is stay lean.
Yeah. Okay. The message is, I don't see it being beneficial to do anything unnecessary.
Yeah.
Now, guess what, man? Let's be honest. I do believe in the power of positive energy. Okay. If you enjoy walking around big as hell, right? It just feels good to you. You like it, and that makes you feel good about your bodybuilding journey. Then put it on, baby. That's you. But like I said, if body fat is your nemesis, let's not come crying about, oh, I can't get lean. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're gonna know. But if that feels good to you, if it feels good to you to be as big as you possibly can be, enjoy that, because for every individual, that is your bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's your bodybuilding, and nobody can define that for you. If you like to be lean, then be lean if that's what you enjoy doing. Of course, if you have a coach, if you have knowledgeable people around you that, and you come to them for advice, guess what they're going to give you? Advice. And it might not be the shit that you want to hear, and it might not be things that you actually enjoy or like doing. But what they're doing is giving you the advice to try to help you get to where you want to be, right? And sometimes in order to get to where you want to be, you have to go through periods that you really don't want to go through. You may have to do, have some times of discomfort. So, in other words, yeah, you like being this big, but in order to look like you want to do later, then you can't be big right now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm a strong believer in, and here's my saying, and this is what we say in South Carolina: whatever floats your boat. Whatever you enjoy, whatever floats your boat. And look at man, and look, I can guarantee you when you come by and talk to these guys, and you tell them, and you want to be, like I said, you want to be 300 pounds, you want to be 130 kilos, they're going to say, cool, but here's what you also going to have to deal with when you put that kind of weight on. Here's what you're doing to yourself when you try to put that kind of weight on, and you're going to have to deal with that. And I'm telling you right now, when you want to try to diet down, you're going to have to pay the piper, buddy, unless you're one of those genetic freaks that can just drop body fat easily, So I guess, yeah, that's the moral of the story. Look, do what you want, do what feels good to you, do what makes you happy, but you're also going to have to think about what is the goal that you're trying to reach, because donuts make me happy, but donuts ain't going to help me win the damn bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to know when it's time to cut that off and focus purely on what the goal is, and you shouldn't waste time doing things that aren't going to benefit you reaching the goal. Why spend time doing things that are only going to take you further away from your goal?
Yeah.
And that could be going out partying with your friends. That could be chasing a bunch of girls, chasing a bunch of guys, whatever it is you're doing, or eating a bunch of shitty food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there has to be a time when you put the focus in, and the focus means fun time is over. Now it's time to only spend energy, doing things that are going to benefit the goal that I'm trying to reach.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap it up, because this has been awesome, but I always ask, when I meet pros and everything, I always ask them one question. And if you could give me one piece of advice in the gym, regards to training, one piece of advice, what would it be to help me with my training?
Okay.
Or to anyone, like something that everyone should be doing in the gym that maybe they aren't?
Okay, well, I can tell you right now, I can't give it to you in one piece, okay? But here's how I break it down, try to make it as simple as possible. For me, the way I put it under the umbrella of this, you have to find out what works for you. And we hear that all the time, right? But I'll make it simple. Here's how you find out what works for you. You got three things that you have to apply. First thing, and this is not part of the three things, but still under the umbrella, you gotta be patient with yourself, right? Patient enough to know that it's gonna take time. You gotta have that. You gotta be free and willing enough to experiment, okay, with different things. All right. The third thing is you're gonna need to spend a lot of time doing research to learn as much as you can about different exercises and stuff like that. Right? Okay. So now, keeping that in mind, here are the three things. The first thing you got to think about when you're in the gym and when you're experimenting and doing all these, exercises and stuff. The first thing is the exercise that you're doing, you need to feel it in the target muscle. If you're doing an exercise and it's supposed to be for shoulders, simple. You need to feel it in your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Simple, right? Okay. Number two, you don't need to feel any negative pain, meaning no sharp pain, no joint pain, no ligament, tendon pain, nothing like that. It should feel good. You should feel it in the muscle. There shouldn't be any negative pain, okay?
Yeah.
The third rule is you should enjoy it. Remember the power of positive energy. And what I mean by enjoy it is, listen, I promise you, if you absolutely hate squatting and you try to squat every week and it absolutely sucks and you hate every bit of it, somebody's got to push you through it, you just do not like squatting, I can guarantee you that you won't get any results from those squats.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that too.
Because the negative energy that you apply to that thing that you're doing will make your body say, okay, I don't like this. I don't want to respond to this. You get what I'm saying? So you have to enjoy or like what you're doing. Now, there's been times where I've added new exercises to to my training, and you know what? I don't like this exercise, but I would give myself 3 chances with it, 3 weeks with it, okay? So I did this new exercise this week and I didn't like it. Second week, whatever. Third week, okay, I'm kind of getting it now. I'm getting in the swing of it. That is something that I can continue to do, because I can get in the groove with it. It's not so bad anymore, right? But if after 3 times, somebody still got to push me through it and I absolutely hate every minute of it, I need to find another movement, And the reason why that's so important is because when it's a movement that you enjoy doing, guess what you're going to give? Maximum effort. And nobody has to make you give maximum effort either, because you like it. You like that movement and you want to be your best at it and you want to give 100% effort, right? You want to push your maximum, okay? That's why that's important. So what we have to do here is we get into the gym and say, for example, like I just said, shoulders. We want to try to improve our shoulders. What do we need to do? Do some, like I said, research. We got to do some research, find out all the different shoulder exercises there are, okay? We find these shoulder exercises, we have to get in the gym and try them. One thing that I did when I was just getting started, I even do it now still. I have a new exercise I want to do, or maybe I have an exercise I've always done, but I want to refine it. I'll get in the gym and I'll do nothing but that one exercise, 10 or 20 sets, enough to create some soreness, right? And what that does for me is, wake up the next day, see, okay, it seems like it's right here. This exercise targets this area directly, and now I know, yeah, it may seem like that's time wasted because you just did one exercise for all these sets, but that's experiment time. And that's important because later that's going to help you reach your goal, because now you know when you want to hit this area, boom, I already know an exercise for that. I already done some experimentation to find the movement for this area, right? Okay, so now we have a new exercise, we apply that exercise, and we spend a day experimenting with it to see where we feel it. A lot of times you can also feel it with a pump. Some people sometimes have trouble generating pumps, so that's why I say just, push it out 10 sets, 12 sets, whatever. Check where you feel it at the next day, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you're able to feel it that day. You can get it in the right spot, you know it's there. All right, so when you're doing that now, what you have to think about next is, okay, so now I got it in the right spot, but something feels a little weird about it. It hurts a little, okay? it hurts a little, or I don't really like how this feels, okay?
Like
Meaning, yeah. When I say it hurts a little, remember our 3 things? It needs to be pain-free, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It hurts a little, or I don't really like this. I don't really like this exercise much. That's one of the others, right? You need to be able to enjoy it, right? I don't really feel it quite in the right spot. Those 3 things. All of those 3 things mean what I do. Don't change exercises yet. Try to tweak it. Okay? Change your range of motion a little bit. This is a full range of motion. Sometimes the effective range of motion is somewhere within that. It could be towards the top half. It could be towards the bottom half. It could be somewhere in the middle. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It could be all of the top half, but only this much. It could be all of the bottom half, but only this much. You have full range of motion, effective range of motion. So you got to find that effective range of motion. You may have to do something like adjust your body position just a little bit, because everybody's biomechanics is different. So when you're on a particular machine, or you're doing a particular exercise, maybe your elbows need to be forward, maybe your elbows need to be back, maybe you need an underhand grip, maybe an overhand grip. So you got to play with it a little bit, you know, and that's where the experimentation is going to come from. Before you absolutely give up on a movement, try to do some little tweaking and stuff. See, you know, there'll be times where, you know, for an example, maybe a front shoulder raise. Okay, where do I feel it? Where do I feel it in my front shoulder? Okay, this is a neutral grip. Now underhand grip. Do I feel it more? Is it more of a contract? Okay, overhand grip. Is it more or less? Okay, well, let's move it over here. Is it more or less? Okay, well, let's raise it up a little bit now. Let's change the range of motion. Is it more or less? You know, just spending time in the gym doing that, you know, and with, you know, beginners and stuff, and even people that's been in the gym for a long time. We'll get in the gym with our workout partner, and we'll be so full of pre-workout and so hardcore and intense that we don't take the time to do any of that stuff. We just get under that weight and we bang it out.
Yeah.
And we don't even think about what we're doing or where we feel it. You get what I'm saying? We got to do 12 reps. We bang out 12 reps. Did I feel all 12 of those reps in the target muscle? Who knows? I'm so full of pre-workout, and it's such a hardcore situation, I don't know, right? But I think you need to spend some time backing away from that, and it's purely for experimentation purposes, to learn about your body and learn about your biomechanics. Now, once you got it figured out, you know how you train your shoulders. I know how I train my shoulders. You know how to get your body in the right position for shoulder press. I know how to get mine in the right position for shoulder press. So when we do shoulder press, you get under it and you go. You got yours. I get under it and I got mine. I do mine, right? You know, and we don't screw around with each other's form, because we've taken that time to see where it needs to be. Now that's a good workout partner. But when you get in the gym, and like I said, you don't put any thought into what it is that you're doing. You don't put any thought into, you know, refining your form and refining the movement. You know, maybe me and you are doing some front shoulder raises, and you feel it the best coming from the bottom going halfway up, and maybe I feel it best starting halfway and going to the top. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But guess what we do? You do it your way, I do it mine. We're both doing front raises, but we're doing it the best way we feel for us. And that's what it's all about. So the umbrella here is doing, like I said in the very beginning, what works for you. But you got to find that. And nobody spends time trying to experiment and find out what's best for them. You know, we'll get on a particular leg movement, and okay, yeah, this feels great, it's working. But how do you know it's working better than something else? Try it. You know, try something. Oh, okay, you have a great leg workout right now. But me, I can't be satisfied with that. Let me try something else and see if it feels better. You know, let me try something else and see if I feel more stimulation. Let me try something else and see if it gives me more growth. Because guess what? It might feel great, buddy, but hell, it might not provide no growth. It might not stimulate growth. So you also got to pay attention to that as well. You know, hey, like I said, donuts taste good, but it don't give no damn muscles. You know, this exercise and this movement might feel good and everything applies, except we're not getting any progress from it. You know, so we have to think about that as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I know that was a lot, but I hope everybody can understand what I'm trying to say.
No, that's great. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much, Cedric.
Okay,
that was really good.
Okay, this is Cedric McMillan, and this is
Kim.
And this is, okay, so we're going to call them old man and young man, okay? And we're coming to you for, I'll call it Australian Muscle TV. Thank you for having us. Peace.
Sam, last word?
Oh, last word.
Yeah.
Stay humble and don't be a knob.
Stay humble and don't be a knob, mate.
Yeah.